had for the last 9 months because the cash was so good. He had most of a quality college education, but 9 months ago, he was unemployed and on the verge of getting evicted from his apartment. That's when he met Ben. Ben left the engine chuffing at idle and climbed out. The low beam shone against the backs of his dark performance pants as he strode down to the shoreline. It was a moonless night. Out the windshield in the distance, maybe a mile across, a necklace of twinkling lights fringed the far shore. The Canadian side, Martin thought. Since turning off the tarmac onto the dirt, they hadn't passed a single farmhouse or outbuilding, only the sentry-like rows of feed corn on both sides of the narrow tractor corridor. A few moments later, Ben reappeared, walking faster. Without a word, he reached through the open driver's side window and flashed the headlights on-off 3 times. He studied the luminous dial of his Breitling chronograph. 10 seconds passed. Then he flashed the high beams once more. A smaller beam signaled back from an approaching watercraft that Martin could barely discern against the murky expanse. Ben couldn't have picked a more remote location. Martin's heart pounded in the excitement of the moment. He cracked his window and caught a brackish whiff coming off the river, the main navigable artery for container ships, linking the Atlantic through canal locks on the Great Lakes to major inland ports in the upper Midwest on both sides of the border. "You got that envelope handy?" Ben asked. Martin patted the thick envelope concealed in his hoodie's pouch. "Wait for your signal. Yeah, I got it," he said. Ben hurried down to a huddle of men waiting by the shoreline. "I'm not your fucking dog," Martin mumbled. He quietly opened the passenger door and stepped down from the van. He wrapped his arms around himself in the chilled air, heard hushed chatter ahead. Out of the shadowy darkness approached the silhouettes of 4 men wearing black clothing and skull caps. They walked directly to the rear of the panel van without glancing at him. Several other black-clad men stayed behind, manning 2 inflatable boats. The casks were hoisted out of the cargo bay, noticeably lightening the suspension as each one was removed. Ben followed the men rolling the casks and loading them into the inflatable boats that had been pulled onto the shore. As if on cue, a powerful blinding flash lit up the whole scene, catching the front of the van in its blaze. Under the bright projector lamp, Martin could see the sealed casks stacked in the inflatables. Another larger boat's engine boomed loudly, arriving behind the first. A voice came over a loudspeaker. "Get down! Get down! On the ground! This is the United States Customs and Border Protection!" Suddenly, a burst of gunfire erupted, taking out the lead shore patrol's large projector beam. Martin ducked his head as a spray of bullets struck the van. He went down hard, his fingers sinking deep into the loamy soil. A burning line of pain shot through his left shoulder. He heard Ben shouting over the din of gunfire. Martin stayed frozen on the ground, paralyzed with fear. All of a sudden, the van's tires kicked in reverse, sending up a cloud of dust, choking Martin. The headlights bobbed up and down over the dirt track. Something gleamed in the track. A shell casing? He wondered. Martin was alone in the cold darkness. The van's engine droned somewhere out of sight. Frantically, he rose to his feet. His Nikes filled with dirt as he thrashed through the field of wizened corn stalks that cut and scratched his cheeks. More bursts of automatic gunfire jammed his ears. Muzzle flash lit up the cornfield. With forearms raised in front of his face like a football lineman, he plowed full bore through row after row without end. He fell again, and this time the deep furrow pulled off his running shoe. He desperately shoved it back on. Once more he was up and running. Despite the gnawing cold, gritty sweat blurred his vision. The stars appeared as an indistinguishable mat of glistening points in the moonless sky. His ears rang between intermittent bursts of gunfire and the screams of men not far.